I'm Georgia Lieneman and you're watching Central Coast News Fridays 5 at 5. On Wednesday, several hundred people marched through Gosford as part of National Homelessness Week to raise awareness of the growing numbers of homeless on the Central Coast. The march was coordinated by Uniting and supported by several local not-for-profits, including Coast Shelter, Catholic Care and Regional Youth Support Services. Uniting spokesperson Vicky Daly said record numbers of people are experiencing homelessness or sleeping rough on the Central Coast, and that more than 3,000 are currently on the waiting list for social or affordable housing.
Yeah, the state of homelessness is pretty dire at the moment. Not only the statistics of the rising statistics of people living rough, but the people that are living in other people's houses, which we call couch surfers, people that are just living the day-to-day at different places in our youth refuges, which are always full. We've got 6 youth refuges. They hold 6. Our women's refuges are always full. To say it's dire at the moment. We try to give the people that we look after a fixed address so that we then can look at all those obstacles in front of them. Centrelink. A lot of the people that come to us aren't on Centrelink when they come to us. Their mental health aren't looked at. They're obviously homeless, so then we look at getting them into the housing, getting them a T number. So what we do here is it's like a one-stop shop. We help them out with nils loans, which is they can get cheap loans for furniture and goods that, people like you and I, it's just a be-all and end-all.
Last week we reported on the growing uncertainty over the future of Warnervale Airport as a result of restrictions by Council on tree trimming near the runway and delays to licence renewal for airport operators. The growth in the trees has also raised significant safety concerns, especially for trainee pilots. This week, Council will vote on 2 separate rescission motions brought by Independent Councillor Greg Best to resolve these matters. We spoke with Councillor Best earlier this week.
What we're going to be seeing on Monday evening is a monumental David and Goliath battle between the Aero Club and this council. And I say that unfortunately because I'm part of this council, and frankly in my 25 years on council I've never seen a council operate with such impunity in their view around their public obligations and their obligations to safety, and that's what this is about. This council is, in my view, hijacked by extreme green views, and they now want to have vegetation encroaching onto the runway and into the flying space. This is a thinly veiled attempt at shutting the airport down. I, for one, won't stand for it, and I believe quite a few others won't as well. So come on down, Monday night, Wyong Council Chambers, Healy Street, and just see what your council's up to.
In October this year, Woiwo will host Coast Twist Festival. The festival is being arranged for the local LGBTQI community and will feature a range of LGBTQI artists and performers. Ross Barry spoke with festival director Glitter Supernova.
Well, you can expect a lot of razzle-dazzle at the Coastal Twist Festival over the long weekend of October. Destination New South Wales has predicted about 2,000 people. I think that's a bit conservative at our fair day alone. We're estimating a huge 70% visitor attendance and 30% local attendance. We're bringing in some of the most amazing LGBTIQ performers and artists and musos from around the country. It's going to be really exciting.
Why is this so important to the coast?
Well, there is absolutely no LGBTIQA celebratory visibility on the Central Coast, and we're aiming to sort of really kick up that ante, and we're inviting the whole community to celebrate in a culture that celebrates diversity and social inclusion.
And turning to sport now, the Central Coast Mariners announced a second new signing this week. 31-year-old South Korean midfielder Kim Yoon-sun will join the Mariners for the 2019-20 Hyundai A-League season. Kim was previously captain of the Suwon Blue Wings, one of the biggest teams in Korea. Head coach Alan Statchett said Kim is a high-calibre signing for the Mariners and that his technical skills and experience will be of great benefit in the development of younger players. The signing of Kim follows an earlier announcement that 28-year-old goalkeeper and former Socceroo Mark Birukiri will join the Mariners. The Perth-born player had 85 appearances with Adelaide United and the Newcastle Jets before heading to Europe to play with English club Swansea City and then Dutch team NAC Breda. And in breaking news, the Mariners have announced another new signing of Serbian midfielder Milan Djuric. We'll have more on that next week. Finally, and still on sport, a big clash is looming in this weekend's Central Coast Rugby competition. The clash will be critical to the final standings going into next week's semi-finals. Ross Barry spoke with both captains at training ahead of the clash.
Alex, you've locked in a number, at least a 1 or 2 position on the ladder, but there's a chance with a big enough win this weekend that you could take out number 1. How important is the minor premiership to you?
Oh look, the minor premiership's really not what we're focusing on at the moment. We're focusing on, past that, no one remembers the minor premiers. We want to win the grand final. So leading into that, we take every game as it goes. So we got to remember this weekend. They've been going excellent all year, so and as last year. So we've got to step up and bring our A game this weekend and see if we can knock them over there first before we even start thinking about that run into the finals.
You came very close in round 1, 17-14, a narrow loss. What can you do to turn that around in this game?
Score more points, obviously. They're a tough side. They defended really well, so it's just going to be about trying to find the weakness in their defensive line and put some of our big forwards over the line if we can. And they're just a side that's really quality. They defend really well. They attack when you give them a chance, and we're just going to have to grind it out. And hopefully we can get a few more points than them this weekend. What
style of game are you expecting them to bring?
Hard. They hit hard. They got big boys and they go hard. They got big petrol tanks. So we're pretty prepared for a physical encounter. We had a few big lads ourselves, so we're just going to keep coming at them, and it's going to be a clash of the Titans this weekend. But like I said, hopefully we can come away with the chocolates.
It's forecast to be possibly cold and windy. Are we going to see a bit of high ball, do you think?
Well, it could be, take your pick with the kicks with that kind of wind around. It'll be whether the guys want to chance their arm or not. I've seen a few go the wrong way, but it's probably going to be a little bit tighter game with those sorts of conditions. Really, it's generally one where you stick it in under the arm in the forwards and trying to run it in through the big boys rather than go on the aerial attack and chancing your arm with the wind.
Do you want to give a message to Geordie Clark?
Good luck, mate. Rally your boys because we're going to bring it this weekend, and looking forward to a good game.
Jordan, there's a lot at stake this week. There's still a chance for Terrigal to win the minor premiership. How important is it to you to finish on number 1?
Oh, it's very important. It's really a big focus of ours to run into the finals with a lot of momentum, and this week's a big stepping stone to that.
You've won 31 matches on the trot as captain. What is it going to take to make it 32?
You play your best footy when you're enjoying it. So trying to stay calm and just stick with it, trust it, and if you're not having fun, you're not going to do well. So,
what style of game do you think Terrigal's going to bring?
Physical, quick. So we just need to keep up with it, play at our pace. And bring the physicality. So we look forward to it.
That's all for this week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week for Friday's 5 at 5.